Hi, welcome to our session on how to use Jamboard to connect with your students virtually better. So here I have the Google home screen, and in the search bar, this is going to be from start to finish. So if you already have Jamboard on your Google account, then no need to follow this part of it. But Jamboard is completely free to anyone. I already have it written in here, you can see that, but you're just going to type in Jamboard extension. And if you see how mine came up with a bunch of other print afterwards, that's my Jamboard that I use with my class already. So if I type Jamboard and I click on that, it'll go straight to my Jamboards that I've already created, which is really nice and easy when you're working with your students online, because you can just type it, click continue, and it'll take you straight there. So when you go this route, you're just going to click where it says Jamboard, Google Chrome. And when you hit visit website, then your Jamboard, it already comes up here. Now my little picture here is blocking a little plus button. So you hit the plus button down here and it's going to start a new jam for you. My face back down here. All right, so several of the things that I really like about Jamboard. So why would you even need Jamboard? Jamboard is a way to connect with your students and to collaborate with them to where they're all working on the screen at the same time. So as a teacher, I create a Jamboard that I want my students to do. So for example, it might be, how was your weekend? And all of these tools over here on the side are available for you to use. You've got tools up here that you can use. You can choose different backgrounds here. They've got this for dots, maybe might be good for math activity. They have the lined paper and the grid lines where you can do, it's perfect for various math activities or an art activity. And then they've got the plain color, and then black, and then there's just the ordinary white. All right, and then over here we've got all different kinds. You can write with a pen, so you can use this as a digital whiteboard in doing a math problem with your students. So let's say I'm going to do for them 43 plus 43. And the students, you're sharing your screen with them, so they're seeing this. At this point in the game, they do not have access to the Jamboard. All they can do is see what I'm doing on it. I will show you the next step of them having access to it next. So you can go ahead and write whatever you want on there. And the cool thing about this is these frames up here, once I'm done with that, I can go ahead and keep it on there and go to the next frame, and then I can do another activity. Maybe I have another math question on there and I want to keep it for the other one in case a student missed part of the meeting and they wanted to go back to that previous screen. You can also, if you need to show proof to admin, or if you needed to send screenshots to students who weren't there for a meeting, then you can go over here and save the frame as an image. So you come over here to these three dots, save the frame as an image, and you're just coming down here, clicking on it, and I'm able to save it just like you would any picture onto your computer. So it's nice to be able to keep these on there. Also, if you use the same Jamboard over and over, you can keep them up there as well. So I don't know how many frames it goes to, but so far I've never run out of frames. All right, so we have our eraser here where I can erase my work that I did, get rid of all of that. There's probably a way that you can make the eraser bigger, but I have not played around with that part of it. All right, so then we've got the pointer here, so you can use it for pointing. And this is where I use it mostly, is the sticky note. And this is the way that you will have your students, that you can have your students join in on you for that collaboration piece, sort of. So if I had, I'm going to back up here. So I'm going to draw a shape here and fill it. And then here is a text box. All right. How was your weekend? And I can move this right over here. I want to make it a little bit bigger. I can center it up. So how I would use this Monday morning comes around, I want to be able to connect with my students without having to let each of them speak on the virtual meeting. So I make this Jamboard, how was your weekend? And then I come up here to share. And I'm going to change it to anyone with the link. Now, key thing here is you have to change it from viewer to editor. That allows the students to be able to add something on there. Now, if I don't want my students, I just want them to see the screen like that mouth problem that we just saw, and I just want them to view it and I don't want them to touch it at all, then I would make them all viewers, not editors. And I just take this link here and I'm going to copy it. And then I can paste that link. That link can be pasted into Google Classroom. It can be pasted into right into our Google Meet or your Zoom Meet. Any type of meeting that you're in, you can go ahead and paste it right into the comments there. And then as the students click on it, this is what they see. They get to see this whole screen here, and then they get to add to it. And how they add to it is they come over here and they add a sticky note. They can pick the color that they want. I'm going to pick green. How was my weekend? I'm going to say I had a birthday party. And then when I hit save, it adds my sticky note right to the board and everyone can see it. So all my students can write it. And as they are adding their sticky notes, they come and they pop up right here. And then you as a facilitator can move them around and you can add as many sticky notes as you want. Let's see. I slept in, save, and it's going to put it right in the same spot. Now I hit cancel to get out of that, and these can again be moved around wherever you want. They do tend to kind of pile up, so I will start to move them around. One of the bad things about Jamboard is your students, being that they're editors as well, can also move them around. So I have some kids who like to organize all the sticky notes and we'll start to organize them, and the students get a little bit frustrated because they feel like the students are messing with it. I can also, if I see this and I decide, oh, I want to edit this one, I can go to the three dots here and I can edit it. And if there's a spelling error or something, I can edit it. Also, if a student writes something that's inappropriate or doesn't apply, you can also delete. Oh, it's gone. So that way when they're writing something, I have had them write something that didn't fit with what we were doing. So I just go ahead and I delete their answer. But also other students can delete them as well. You can duplicate it. You can make one sit on top of the other. So it's fun to to be able to connect with all of them in that easy way. Now, there's a way that when you are sharing this, when they add their sticky note here, you don't know, it's anonymous. So you can keep it anonymous if you like that, or you can have them add their name. So I can have John. That way we know that John was the one that said that. I like to do that so I know exactly who is saying what, but if it's an activity that you want to keep them anonymous for so that more students will participate, you can go ahead and keep it anonymous. You can see their names on it. If you come up here to, oops, not that way. Oh yes, if I add all of their names right here with the people that I want to share with. So if I take their list of emails that the school has given me, I can cut and paste and I can put them all here. That way I'm sharing it with just them, the specific group, and I can see their names because they're logging in with their Google accounts. All right, so that is how to share it with the other students. Up here, you can title it. So I can say weekend plans, and the title will be there. The students do have access to changing that, and I have had students actually go ahead and change it, which can be annoying. You can also have them add an image here. It could be an image that they find online or that they find from their computer. So if you assign them, take a picture of what you did this weekend and post it there, or post an image of how this character feels, and then you can give them access to choosing some emojis so that they can post them there, so they can post pictures there as well. I showed you the shape add. This is adding the text box, and then the laser, which the students like to use, but it's helpful as a teacher to be able to say, okay, look at this part of the problem, and now look at this part of the problem. So that draws their attention to that part of it. I can also clear this out when we're done with it. I just hit clear and all of our stuff is gone. All right. Let me think of what else I wanted to share with you on that. Some of the ways that I use it. So I do every Monday, how was your weekend? Kind of connect with them. I do it while I'm taking roll calls, so that way they're busy working on it. And you do need to establish some clear guidelines of, I only allow them to use the sticky note. They're not allowed to draw on there. And as soon as someone is drawing, that person goes into view only and they lose access to the board. If there's multiple students doing that, then I go ahead and put it as a view only, or we don't use it in any way at all. So those clear guidelines do need to be set in place so that students know how best to use it, the Jamboard. You can also give an assignment such as reading a story to your class, and then you're asking, how did the main character handle that situation? So you put the text in here in the middle. I like to highlight it with some type of shape like a circle, and we're gonna, example, how did Charlotte feel when Wilbur won? All right, so I have the question for my students here. And then this could either be an assignment that they're doing independently and they're adding to the class as they get to it, or it could be inside of your virtual learning meeting, and then the students are adding to it. The students are seeing the other answers, and then as soon as everyone is done, I go ahead, put it in view only, and then I share my screen and we discuss all of the little sticky notes of all of their different answers. You can also use it to highlight a particular student and say, we're going to do write Courtney, and I want you guys to give me as many adjectives to describe Courtney. And then you let them add the sticky notes to add adjectives to describe Courtney. And then I can take that screenshot right here, save the frame. So then Courtney has a copy of all the adjectives that describe her. So you can make a different one for every single student in your class and have the students go through and add adjectives for the different students. And then you save the frame, go ahead and send it to them, and they can do a writing assignment for it. You can show a picture, pull up a picture, and then have them name all the verbs that they see in the picture. Or put a picture up there and they have to write a sentence for it. And you can assign them a student number. So if they're student, let's say they're student number 16, they're going to see all the other students who are going to give them some ideas, but you'll tell them, I can see if you are cheating. So each one has the same picture on there, and they are going to write a sentence that matches that picture. Or saying, I notice, and then they can fill in the blank of what they notice. So it works really well in collaborating, that the students are seeing the other students' ideas and what they're thinking as well. Inside the text box, I forgot to show that there are ways to have it be a little bit bigger. You can change the color of the print and then change it the way it is aligned. All right, so that right there is Jamboard. Go ahead and check it out. It is a great resource to use, and it's free, and the students really like interacting with it. All right, I hope that was helpful for you. Have a good rest of your day.